What is going on, college sports fans? Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today I'm filling out another Joe Lunardi's Bracketology. This one updated on March 10th, 2022. So this bracket is up to date. I've taken it, put it into a PDF where we will fill it out all the way to the national championship. A few things real quick. I want to say subscribe if you guys are new. We're building an awesome college sports community here on the channel, so make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Also, drop me a like if you guys enjoy and comment down below your thoughts on my bracket. Also, who do you think is going to win the national championship this year? And real quick, I want to say you can join my ESPN Tournament Challenge group if you go on the app or website and type in Daniology5. There's no password to get in. It's open to all my subscribers. So you can go in there, type Daniology5 and join it. Or I will also have a link for this down in the description if you just want to click the link and then join that way. So we already got a few people in here, and make sure you guys join that just for fun. So yeah, we have that going on, and I am ready to fill out this bracket. There has been a lot of tickets punched since my last bracket last week, so I'm excited to see these teams in here that have punched their tickets. A few bid thieves. Let's get it started, man. First off, we got Gonzaga versus either Nicholas or Alcorn State. I'll go with Alcorn in that one just because they barely won their conference tournament last night. Just they tied it with like 4 seconds left, and then they won in overtime. Great win for them. So I'll pick Alcorn to win that play-in game, but of course I'm picking the Zags, man. No way they're losing to Alcorn. TCU versus Memphis. Memphis up to the 9 line now, so that's pretty surprising. They've worked their way really high up, and I'm going to pick someone that I think is a sleeper in the Big 12 tournament this week, and that is the Horned Frogs. TCU has been playing some pretty good basketball. They beat Kansas lately. I know they lost to West Virginia, which is my team, but that's just one off game. Hopefully they can get it back, and I'm going to pick the Horned Frogs to win round 1. Yukon versus North Texas, and I really like this North Texas team, but I think Yukon's size and shooting ability will get them into the next round. So I'm going to go with the Huskies to win that one. Arkansas versus Vermont, and these are two teams that I really like, North Texas and Vermont, and I would love to pick some upsets, man, but I just can't do it because they're going up against hot teams. Like, I really wish that Vermont and North Texas had a better draw than this in his bracket. I really hope they do in Selection Sunday, whenever that comes out. I really hope that Vermont and North Texas get better draws than this because I think that they have very high upset potential. So I'm going to go with Arkansas, but look out for Vermont when you make your brackets, guys. Look out for them. Alabama versus Rutgers, and I'm going to have my first true upset here and pick Rutgers over Alabama. We all know Alabama's been so inconsistent this year. Oh, why am I putting? And I don't trust them. And I think Rutgers, you know, they have a ton of great players on their team, and they haven't been making it too far in the tournaments recently, and they brought these guys back. I think they're going to be ready, and they are going to take down the Crimson Tide in round 1. Texas Tech versus Seattle. I don't know too much about Seattle. I don't think that they've punched their ticket yet. But I'm going to go with Texas Tech. That's a pretty easy pick for me in that one. So, Red Raiders moving on. Colorado State versus Loyola Chicago. Loyola actually punched their ticket this week, and they look like a good team again, man. You know, they got a new coach. He's one of the youngest coaches in Division I basketball, I'm pretty sure I saw. Do they have some Loyola magic in them this year? I don't know. They could, but I'm going to go with Colorado State. In my opinion, the hottest team in the Mountain West right now, going into the Mountain West tournament. We'll see how they perform in that. But beating Boise State in the final regular season game, that is a good way to get going into the playoffs. So give me the Rams to move on. Wisconsin versus St. Peter's. I got to go with Wisconsin and Johnny Davis in this one. Johnny Davis's health is in concern right now as they go into the Big Ten tournament, so we're going to have to see how he is looking because that can play a major factor in how far I take the Badgers this year because he is a great primetime player. Like, he is crucial to how far they make it, man. Okay, now we got Gonzaga versus TCU, and I really like the Horned Frogs, but they get a very tough draw here. I could see the Horned Frogs being a potential Sweet 16 team, but not going up against the Zags, man. I don't think they can get it done. Yukon versus Arkansas, and this is a really tough pick. I really don't want to have to pick between these two teams. I mean, this is an excellent game for a round of 32 game, and I'm going to go with the Huskies this time. I picked Arkansas to win the national championship in my last bracket, and the Husky fans, you know, they've been letting me know I've been disrespecting them a little bit. I think I had them probably losing to North Texas in my last bracket just because I like North Texas so much. That's not a knock against the Huskies. I just like to pick upsets, and I really like this North Texas team. So I'm going to pick Yukon to move on in this one because I do think that they can win this game. I would probably favor Arkansas, but I picked Arkansas to win the Natty this year, and last bracket, and I've been kind of disrespecting Yukon. I'm going to give them some respect right here and move them on to the Sweet 16 because I do think this game is close to a 50-50 type game because Yukon, with their size and how hard they play, I could definitely see Yukon beating Arkansas in the second round. So Huskies move on to the Sweet 16. Rutgers versus Texas Tech, and I would love to move the Scarlet Knights on again, but I can't do it. Not against Tech, man. Texas Tech, excellent defensive team, and I think that they will put on a defensive clinic against Rutgers with all their length and size, man. Like, all 5 positions, they are lengthy, and they're going to get deflections. Like, I don't know if Rutgers can deal with all that. Give me Texas Tech to move on. Colorado State versus Wisconsin. I don't know, man. With Johnny Davis's health in question, this could be a potential 7/2. I mean, we usually see a 7/2 at least once, man. So we could see this happen. Do I want to pull the trigger on this? I kind of do. Man, this is a tough one. Man, I really don't know who I want to pick because Colorado State, they have a solid team, man. They're going to be fighting. Wisconsin, they've been getting good wins all year, man. Give me the Rams. You know what? Let's go with the Rams to move on to the Sweet 16. I think they could get it done, especially with Johnny Davis's health in question right now. And don't get me wrong, if Johnny Davis is going, I'm definitely picking Wisconsin in this. I think that they could be a potential Final Four team. But give me the Rams to move on in this one. Why not? Gonzaga versus Yukon. And I kind of think that Yukon could give Gonzaga some trouble. The only problem I have with trying to pick Yukon in this one is, are they going to try to run with them too much? Because we saw St. Mary's kind of open up a formula to defeat Gonzaga and kind of slow the game down, control the pace. And can Yukon do that? Can they slow it down enough? Because if they try to run with Gonzaga, because Gonzaga is go, 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 100 miles per hour the entire game, if Yukon tries to run with them, you know, who's going to have the final run, you know? I think Yukon, you know, they can put up points. We've seen them do it against Auburn in that crazy, I think it was double overtime game like earlier in the year. So they can run with these great offensive teams. And I kind of want to do it. I want to pick Yukon. If they can control the pace of the game and get enough stops, then I think that they can win this game. They got a big that can help with a great defensive big, averaging like 2 blocks a game, close to 3, I think. Can kind of hang in there with Chet and Drew Timme. So give me the Huskies to move on. Why not? Why not? Texas Tech versus Colorado State. This is where I'm going to have the Rams run in, and I'm going to have the Red Raiders move on to the Elite Eight. I think they're too lengthy. You know, Colorado State, Texas Tech's going to play great defense in this game. Just give me the Red Raiders to move on. Now we have our Elite Eight matchup. We got the Huskies versus the Red Raiders, and this is where I'm going to have the Huskies drop, man. I'm going to have Texas Tech move on to the Sweet Six, or to the Final Four. I think the defense gets the job done. Both these teams are great at defense. It would be an excellent game. One that I would love to watch, a matchup I haven't seen in my brackets yet. So give me Texas Tech to go on to the Final Four in that one. So now let's go over here to the top right. We got Baylor versus Norfolk State. And I'm going to take the Bears, of course. Now we got Michigan State versus San Francisco. And I am actually going to go with the Dons in this one. I don't really like this Michigan State team that much. Like, the more I see them, the more I'm like, it's very surprising, like, how high people were, everyone, including myself, were on them earlier in the season. I mean, they were up to a 3-4 line, like, most of the year, and then they completely fell off here recently. And San Fran, you know, they've hung in there with Gonzaga. Not really, you know, hung, if you say within 15 points is hanging in there with Gonzaga. But I think the Dons could get it done here. I think they can. LSU versus San Diego State. And yes, this is the type of 12-5 matchup that just smells like a big upset. I mean, the Jackrabbits have been playing awesome basketball. I don't like LSU too much this year. You know, they can put up points and they can play defense. This could be a trap. Listen, everyone's probably going to be picking this upset right here, and it almost feels like it's too good to be true, like this matchup they're giving me. Like, could this be a trap game? Because LSU, they play great defense, and they are a potential Sweet 16 team for sure. It feels like a trap, but I'm going to go with the Jackrabbits just because I like them so much. So give me South Dakota State to win it. In my official bracket, I probably would pick LSU because it feels too much like a trap. This one feels like a trap. UCLA versus Princeton. Man, I don't like this matchup because I think that UCLA definitely has potential to get upset this year, but Princeton as a 13, I don't like that. I don't think Princeton deserves to be a 13. I think one of these 14 seeds could definitely move up and swap with Princeton. Give me UCLA. That's a very lucky draw there for the Bruins. Iowa versus Creighton. I am going to go... I'm going to go with Iowa. I think that Keegan Murray is going to get at least one win in this tourney. So give me Iowa to move on. Tennessee versus Colgate. I'm going to go with Tennessee. Colgate actually punched their ticket in the Patriot League last night. I think it was the only ticket punched last night. So congratulations, Colgate. You will be dancing for sure. 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row. I remember last year we were all talking about Colgate, Oral Roberts, Natty. That would have been crazy. Boise State versus Michigan. I really want to go with Boise State here. I got to see how they and also Michigan performs in their conference tournament because Michigan's kind of been heating up lately. And, you know, with Hunter Dickinson, they got some size. They got some experience. You know, last year they were a 1 seed. Does Boise have enough in them to get it done here? I'm going to go with Michigan. And it kills me because I love Boise State, and I want to see them get their first ever NCAA tournament win. But I got to go with Michigan. I haven't picked Michigan much in these brackets, so give me Michigan to move on. Duke versus Jacksonville State. I'm going to go with Duke. Jacksonville State, they got a free bid, man. They did not even win their conference tournament, but because of, can't even think of their name, won their conference, but they are new to Division I basketball. Like, this is only their 2nd year in it, and the rule is you have to be in it 4 years, I think, to be able to make the tourney. So that is just bad news for them. Duke's going to win that one for them, and Jacksonville State's going to be out here early. All right, Baylor versus San Francisco, and I kind of think that Baylor has the easiest ride. Like, looking at this top half of this region, who is the biggest threat to Baylor? I almost feel like it's LSU or San Francisco, and that's crazy. Like, Baylor they're looking good. They're looking good if this is their bracket. I mean, they're looking good. Can San Fran pull off the upset? I kind of think that it could be possible. I think that this is Baylor's toughest game to get to the Sweet Six, or to get to the Elite Eight at least, with the top half of this region. I kind of want to pick San Francisco, but I'm going to do Baylor right here. I think that they will get it done. They are well coached by Scott Drew, and it's hard to see them losing in the second round, especially with the season they had last year. They have such a good team, man. So, yeah, Baylor's going to move on here. South Dakota State versus UCLA, and give me the Jackrabbits. Even though Johnny Juzang, he looks healthy now, but I'm still picking the Jackrabbits. I don't think that I think UCLA's ceiling this year is the Sweet 16. So give me South Dakota State. I think that they're going to lose a little bit early this year. Not going to have the same magic that they did last year, in my opinion. Iowa versus Tennessee, and a lot like this Arkansas-Yukon game, this would be a crazy good round of 32 game. Keegan Murray versus Tennessee. Tennessee's going to be in it, man. I really kind of want to pick Iowa, but I put Iowa. I think I've had both of these teams going around to the Elite Eight last bracket. I'm going to pick Tennessee to move on in this one. I really like the Vols this year. I really like them. Michigan versus Duke. And can we see a little bit of a 10-2 here? I kind of feel it. I kind of feel like Michigan could win this game. I'm not too high on Duke this year, but, early in the year, they won these neutral-sited games. Are they going to be ready for these neutral-sited games? I kind of feel like they will be. And I don't know. I really want to pick Michigan over Duke. We're doing it. We're doing it. I think that it could happen if Michigan comes to play in this one. Give me the Wolverines to upset the Blue Devils 10-2 and make the Sweet 16. Make it happen. Let's go. Baylor versus South Dakota State. And this is where the Jackrabbits run has to end, man. It's sad because I love these Jackrabbits, but it has to end here. So give me Baylor to move on. Tennessee versus Michigan. Do we see a little bit of more Michigan magic here? I don't know. I really like this Vols team. I think that they are more disciplined than Michigan is. But if Michigan comes out in the Big Ten tournament and does some damage, then I'm going to have to look out for them, especially as a 10 line. If they get in a bracket with Duke, I kind of like that upset pick. I could see Michigan going to the Elite Eight. You got to pick some big upsets. And I really like this Tennessee team. But I'm going to do it for the Cinderella reasons. Give me Michigan to go to the Elite Eight. Michigan is probably going to be like America's favorite double-digit seed this year. But I'm going to pick them to move on. I think, they have a solid team. I think probably 8 times out of 10, Tennessee would, maybe 8 times out of 10, Tennessee would beat Michigan. But give me Michigan to move on to the Elite Eight. Why not, man? We got to have a Cinderella in here somewhere. Baylor versus Michigan. Does Michigan's run keep going? And I'm going to say no. I'm going to have Baylor to the Final Four. 2 Big 12 teams in here. We'll see if we can, is another Big 12 team going to make it? Probably not. Probably not. Kansas versus Long Beach State. And we got Kansas. Long Beach State, I think they punched their ticket in, so congratulations to them making the tourney. No. Longwood was the ones who punched their ticket. I don't think Long Beach State has yet. Seton Hall versus Murray State. I'm going with Murray State. Yes, sir. I really think the Racers have a solid team this year, and I like them to move on. Houston versus either Wake Forest or Xavier. Wake Forest and Xavier both lost very, very, games that they should have won. And I don't know, these teams might not make the tournament. They're on the last 4 in right now. Wake Forest lost to Boston College in the ACC tourney. Xavier lost to Butler. So, how are we looking at? Do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you guys made it down to this part of the video. Do you think that Wake Forest and Xavier will make the tourney still? Let me know down below. And I'm not even too high on this Houston team, but I'm gonna pick them to win this game with whoever comes out of it. Illinois versus Toledo. I'm gonna go with Illinois. Illinois gets a solid draw here with getting to play Houston in the second round. I mean, don't sleep on them because, they have a great coach and they made the Final Four last year. They have some solid players and they're going to play tough defense. They're going to play tough all the way around. So don't sleep on Houston, but I like this draw for Illinois. Ohio State versus Notre Dame. I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I think that they are playing way better basketball than Ohio State right now. And give me the Fighting Irish to move on. Villanova versus Longwood. Longwood is the one that punched their ticket here this couple days ago. But give me Villanova. I don't think that they are going to beat Nova in the first round. USC versus Miami. Another ACC double-digit win over USC. I could see happening. I'm going to pick USC, though. I think that USC squeaks by in a close one. USC, we talk about Providence, and we'll get to them soon, I'm sure. But, we talk about Providence playing in close games. USC plays in some close games, man. Kentucky versus Georgia State. Come on now. Going with Kentucky. Kansas versus Murray State. And I think I kind of want to go with the Racers a little bit. A big part of me says, let's do it. But I'm going to dial back a little bit and say that Kansas has enough to get it in. Abachi, Brown, they got some ballers, man. And it's going to be too much for the Racers here in this one. And people say that the Racers, they've kind of cooled off a little bit recently. I mean, they've been playing in closer games, but they're still winning, and they won their conference. They're punched their ticket for sure. If Murray State if they somehow get up to the 7 line, look out. Look out for the Racers, man. They could definitely pull off an upset against Duke, maybe even Auburn, Wisconsin, especially if Johnny Davis isn't fully 100%. Look out for the Racers, man. I would look out for that if they can get a 7 on Selection Sunday. Also, announcement. I will be live streaming for Selection Sunday if you guys want to tune in. So, Houston versus Illinois. Y'all knew where I was going with this one. I'm not too high on this Houston team, man. Not too high on them at all. Give me the Illini to move on to the next round. Notre Dame versus Villanova. I mean, you know what? I'm going to show some respect here to Notre Dame. I think that they could pull off this upset 11-3. Give me the Fighting Irish to go dancing. They're the 2nd seed in the ACC. They have wins over the likes of Kentucky this year. I think they could get it done. Villanova, they have veterans. Colin Gillespie is probably his 6th year in college right now, playing ball. Great player, and they have a solid team. Give me Notre Dame to get that upset. Give me Notre Dame. USC versus Kentucky. I'm going to go with Kentucky in this one. I think that they are going to be way too much athleticism, really, for USC as well. I don't really trust this USC team a lot. Give me Kentucky to move on to the next round. Now, we got Kansas versus Illinois. Big time matchup. Who is going to guard Kofi Coburn, though? That's what I want to know. And I really want to pick Illinois. I'm going to pick Illinois. 1 seed goes down here in the Sweet 16. Illinois moves on. I think that Plummer has a good day. I mean, I could see Plummer and Brown just going at it from 3. Both these guys could have big games. This would be a really fun game. I like this Illinois team a lot. Give me the Illini to move on. Okay, now we got Notre Dame versus Kentucky. Like I said, Notre Dame beat Kentucky earlier this year. Kentucky's about to get their revenge. I don't see them losing to them again. I think that will give them a reason to get motivated for this game as well. So give me the Wildcats to move on in this one. Now, we got the matchup that I love to make because I really want to see this happen. Kofi Coburn versus Oscar Shebway. Who is going to win that battle? I love it. I want to see this so bad. This is the #1 matchup that I want to see in March, and I really hope we get to see it. And I'm actually going to pick Illinois because I think that they have more experience to get this one done. So give me Illinois to make it to the Final Four. I think, with Trent Frazier, Alonzo Plummer, those veteran guards you need. And I know that Kentucky has Ty Washington. Them boys are good, but I think the veteran experience of Illinois is going to get them past this one. And Kofi Coburn, Oscar Shebway, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fight. But give me the Illini to move on, man. Give me them to move on. Now, we got Arizona versus either Wright State or Bryant. Wright State and Bryant both punched their ticket this, I think, a couple days ago. Arizona's winning this game. Bryant got that Peter Kiss guy. He was going nuts, man. But I don't see them doing any damage, especially not as a 16 seed. I don't see Bryant doing any damage. North Carolina versus Iowa State. And I'm going to go with the Tar Heels and Bocott to get the win in this one. I think that they are a better team than Iowa State. Iowa State is so inconsistent to me. Sometimes I think I said this last time, Isaiah Brockington, sometimes he's putting up 30-some points in a game. He put up 30 on my Mountaineers whenever we played them in Ames. But then sometimes Iowa State only scored 30-some points as a whole team the entire game against Oklahoma State. So that is, I don't know, too inconsistent for me. Give me the Tar Heels. Texas versus either Wyoming or SMU. And I like this draw for Texas. I think that this is the best 12 seed draw. Well, maybe not. Wake Forest and Xavier might be better. Yeah, that one's probably better because Wyoming is a good team. But Wyoming has been struggling a little bit as of late. So I think this is a good draw for Texas. So I like the Longhorns in this one. Providence versus Chattanooga. But this is where I'll have my upset. Y'all know I'm not too high on Providence. And Chattanooga, they hit a crazy, if you haven't seen it, look it up, a crazy buzzer beater to make the tourney. They were playing an insane game. I was watching it live. I was going nuts when they hit that shot. Near just past half court, pulled up, like 3 guys were in front of him, man, and he drained it. They were down 2. That put them up by 1 at the buzzer. Crazy. Chattanooga. Let's go dancing a little bit, Chatty. Let's go dancing. St. Mary's versus Davidson. And y'all know I like Davidson, and y'all know I like St. Mary's, but I've kind of cooled off on Davidson a little bit. I have not cooled off on St. Mary's. I think St. Mary's is going to win this game. So give me the Gales to move on. Now we got Purdue versus Montana State. And I don't know too much about Montana State. I don't think they've punched their ticket yet. Give me Purdue to win that one. Too much athleticism, too much offensive firepower there for Montana State, I'm going to assume. Marquette versus San Diego State. And you guys know I like San Diego State a lot. I've been picking them to go a little bit deep. I think I had them in the Elite 8-1 bracket. But I'm going to go with Marquette this time. I think Marquette has it in them to make a little bit of a run this year. So I'm going to put a little bit more respect on Marquette here because I haven't had them winning in the first round recently. So give me Marquette to win. Next up, we got Auburn versus Delaware. Delaware punching their ticket as a bid stealer. Jameer Nelson Jr., which, yes, is Jameer Nelson's son, helping lead the Blue Hens to the tourney. I love that mascot name, the Blue Hens. I would love to see this 15/2, but I can't do it. I can't do a 15/2, even though I really would love to let the Blue Hens go dancing a little bit. I'm gonna pick Auburn. Arizona versus North Carolina. And North Carolina, you know, they could be a sneaky pick here in this one, but Arizona, to me, is playing like probably maybe the best team in basketball right now. Like, Arizona is playing very, very good. So give me Arizona to win that one. Texas versus Chattanooga. And Chattanooga's going to go dancing a little bit. I think that they could win this game too. This is a winnable game for them. Chattanooga's going dancing. Move them on to the Sweet 16. Let's go. St. Mary's versus Purdue. And I could see St. Mary's winning this game. I think this is actually the matchup I had in my last bracket last week. And I had St. Mary's winning just because Purdue, these two are like polar opposites, man. Purdue doesn't play much defense at all. St. Mary's is like lockdown defense. Let's slow the game down. Let's both only score 50 points and we're happy. Like, we're controlling the game. That's what we like to do. And I could see the Gales winning this one, but if Purdue, you know, they can get off to a fast start, a hot start, and get up by like maybe 10 points really early, I don't know if St. Mary's has enough offense in them where they're going to be able to make a run and control the rest of the game. So I'm going to, based on, I think Purdue is going to get off to an early hot start, give me Purdue to win. But they can't sleep on St. Mary's. If they sleep on St. Mary's are going to beat them. So watch out for that one, but I'm going to pick Purdue this time because I picked St. Mary's last time. Marquette versus Auburn. Can Marquette go dancing a little bit? I think Auburn's a solid team, so I'm going to go with Auburn. And I really would like to see this Purdue versus Auburn game. I think it would be a lot of fun. So I want to see it. Let's make it happen. Now, we got Arizona versus Chattanooga. And I'm going to go with Arizona. Chatty's going to end here. The Chattanooga train. And Arizona to the Elite 8. Purdue versus Auburn. These teams would fight, man. I would love to see this game. I really hope we get to see it. Jabari Smith, Jaden Ivey, these two going at it. Walker Kessler versus Zach Edey. Who doesn't want to see that? I mean, that would be so much fun, man. But I'm going to go with Purdue. I think Purdue would win that game. Especially if they start playing defense. I think everyone's kind of like, if Purdue can play some defense, man, they can win the national championship. So Arizona versus Purdue now. And who do we got going to the Final Four, our last Final Four spot? I'm going to go with Arizona. I think that they are a well-rounded team. They play more defense. They get out and run. And I could see them definitely beating Purdue in a very close game. That would be a lot of fun. But give me Arizona to move on. Now, we got Texas Tech versus Illinois to go to the championship. That one would be so much fun, man. Texas Tech, man, that is tough. A lot of defense, man. This is the battle of A 3 versus a 4 seed? Yeah, a 3 versus a 4 seed. Texas Tech, very defensive team, but they are lengthy. They are athletic too. I mean, I kind of want to go Illinois here because I think if they can get past like Kansas, I think that they can beat Texas Tech. I think they can beat Texas Tech. So I am going to pick Illinois to go to the championship here. I think that they have enough shooting ability. I think Kofi Coburn could cause some problems, even though I think Texas Tech has really good length to guard Kofi Coburn. I'm going to go with the Illini to go to the championship as a 4 seed. Let's make it happen. Now, we have the battle of our 1 seeds here in the Final Four. Baylor versus Arizona. And this one would be a lot of fun. Baylor has the talent. They have the coaching ability, they're so disciplined and deep. I could see them winning another championship back-to-back years, but I think they're going to lose here in the Final Four, and I'm going to have Arizona move on to the national championship. So, 2 Big 12 teams making the Final Four, but none of them are in the championship, as Illinois representing the Big 10. We got Arizona representing the Pac-12. And this one would be so much fun to watch. And I am going to pick Arizona to win the national championship. This time, I think, they get out there and run. They put up a lot of points, man, and they play defense. In my opinion, Arizona might be the most well-rounded team in the entire country. And I think that gets them here, and they win the national championship against Illinois. That would be such a fun bracket. I would love to see all these matchups and fun upsets. Cinderella runs, like the Cinderella run by Michigan, would be fun. I like the storyline part of March Madness a lot. I love watching these close games. This would be lit. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comment section. Also, make sure you guys subscribe if you guys are new. We are going to be live streaming Selection Sunday, the reveal. So if you want to come hang out with me and talk some college ball with me while Selection Sunday is going on, I will be live streaming during it. So make sure you guys tune in, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss my stream if you guys want to. And yeah, make sure you guys join my tournament challenge group. We got some people in here already, so go ahead and join it. It's open to all my subscribers, so yeah. And without further ado, it's been your boy Danny. I'll see you guys in the next video.